Hi, my name's Bella and I'm a theater kid. So if you're a theater kid, you might know this YouTuber called InReelLife, who I will tag somewhere. He makes awesome theater kid contents like reaction videos or other miscellaneous videos, but they're absolutely fantastic, and one of the most recent videos I watched was the 41 Broadway challenge. So he created a theater challenge, and though I wasn't tagged, I was very much intrigued and very motivated to make the video. And the premise of the challenge is that if you were to fill all 41 of Broadway's theaters, which shows would you pick and put into them? So I've created my own list, and they're kind of divided into 3 parts, and I'm going to explain that to you. So the first part, these are the ones that are just really famous, and I might know a song or two, but really not much else other than that. The second part are the musicals that I've watched videos, official and otherwise, and that I've also listened to the soundtrack of and fell in love with because I did extensive research. The third are the ones that I've watched live and also listened to the soundtrack and obviously have fallen in love with. So let's get on with the video, and I'll name you all 41 of the shows that I would love to have. The order of the musicals have nothing to do with whether I like them more than the other, they're just in whatever order I put them in. So these are the ones in the first category. First up, we have Anything Goes. I did watch the Tony Awards performance, and Sutton Foster is amazing. I would love to watch her perform that live, honestly. The second one is Guys and Dolls. 2 of my friends really like Guys and Dolls, and I have absolutely no idea what it's about, which is probably a sin considering it's an absolute classic. I will one day watch the movie and probably get around to listening to the soundtrack, but for now, I have no clue what it is, and I would really love to watch it on Broadway. The third one is The Color Purple. It's also absolutely fantastic and really famous, and I should know it, but I only know like 2 songs from it. I know The Color Purple from The Color Purple, and I also know I'm Here because those 2 are kind of the most famous ones. But even so, I would love to watch it. I know it's an amazing show, and seeing it on Broadway would really change my life, I think. So the fourth one is 9 to 5, and my friend really likes the musical, and I did watch the opening number because of her, and I think the set and the costume and the way everything is produced with the ensemble and the solos coming together, I think that's amazing, and I would love to see the rest of the show. So the fifth one, that's Evita. Evita's also a huge classic, and I do know obviously the really famous ones like Don't Cry for Me Argentina. Let me check, I don't want to get it wrong. So I do know the famous songs like Don't Cry For Me Argentina, and I have heard the recordings of that, but I don't really know much of the rest of the show. All I know is that it's written by Andrew Lloyd Webber and that it's an amazing show, and I would also like to see it. The 6th show on my list is If Then. I have listened to the soundtrack, but some of them are missing in my brain, but I do know some of it, especially obviously the most famous one, Always Starting Over. So I think the original cast was absolutely fantastic with Idina Menzel and Anthony Rapp, and I don't really know the rest of the cast, but it's okay. I love the premise of the story. It's kind of about how your choices define you or defines your life. Basically, they have like 2 events, like you could have chosen A or B, and in the plot they go through both choices, what would have happened if she chose A and what would have happened if she chose B, and they intertwine the 2 stories really well, and I think that will be absolutely fantastic and beautiful to see on stage. 7th and last one in this first category would be Catch Me If You Can. If you didn't know already, the amazing Aaron Tveit was the star of this musical Catch Me If You Can, and it's actually based on the movie, which I also really enjoyed when watching it. It has Leonardo DiCaprio, what's not to like? So it's a musical version of that movie. I only know the first song, which is Live in Living Color, and I think it's amazing. I have watched the Tony performance as well, and because I love the story so much, I think I would enjoy seeing it as a musical as well. Now we're going to the sections where I actually know the musical but haven't gotten the chance to see it live. First and foremost, which is the 8th in this entire list, would be Rent. Rent, I have watched the movie and I have seen the 10th anniversary, whichever one's the professionally recorded one with Renee Elise Goldsberry. I think the musical is so beautiful, so gorgeous. It has such amazing songs like Seasons of Love, which is an absolute classic. I love Take Me or Leave Me, I'll Cover You, and I also love Will I. They're all absolutely gorgeous, and the casting is amazing. I mean, it has Idina Menzel, Anthony Rapp, Adam Pascal, and Renee Elise Goldsberry was in it at some point. I think it's a beautiful show, and I'm really sad that I never got to watch it live. Not to mention, seeing the sets live would be absolutely amazing. Have you seen those levels? So the 9th one, everyone knows it, and I don't care. I'm still gonna put it on my list. Hamilton. I have listened to the soundtrack over and over. I know the musical by heart. I don't care. I think it's brilliant. I love the play on words. I love the fact that they have a turntable on the show, the way their sets move. I love their Tony Awards performance and the energy and the way the ensemble works. I just think it's an overall amazing show, and I'm sad I haven't gotten the chance to see it yet, and I would love to see it if it's on my 41 list of Broadway shows. 10th one is The Last 5 Years. Basically, it's a musical with only 2 actors, a girl and a guy. They fall in love, they're in a relationship, but they take you through the story of how they met. It starts from the end of the relationship where Kathy comes out singing I'm Still Hurting, which is absolutely beautiful. I only watched the movie with Anna Kendrick and Jeremy Jordan, but I absolutely love Jeremy Jordan, so what's not to like? I don't really know how you would use only 2 actors on a Broadway stage, which is pretty big and it could look empty, but I would love to see how you would stage that, and if Jeremy Jordan was still playing Jamie, obviously I would go watch it. The 11th one is West Side Story, and obviously this story is becoming a huge hype right now. There's obviously a Broadway revival coming out with an amazing cast, and also just an equally amazing cast by the Steven Spielberg movie. I'm so looking forward to both of them, and I can't wait to watch it. West Side Story is like a modern take on Romeo and Juliet based with 2 gangs who have star-crossed lovers. It's a classic story, and the old movie is also amazing, and they have such classic songs like Tonight and Maria. I love all the songs, and I'm still sad that I haven't gotten a chance to watch it live. So number 12 is Hadestown. Hadestown actually won Best Musical this year in the Tony Awards, and I've been dying to listen to it and hear it, and I'm so glad the album came out. So I started listening to it a few days ago, and I am falling in love with it every time I listen to the song. I haven't gotten the chance to go through the entire soundtrack because it does have 40 songs, but I know the staging is absolutely beautiful, and I love the fact that they use a turntable. Some of my favorite new musical songs are in this show, like Flowers, All I've Ever Known, Wait For Me. They're all amazing songs. I also love Epic 3. Anyways, they're all gorgeous songs, and I would do anything to go to Broadway to watch it. 13 is Beetlejuice, which is also a really famous musical this year. It's based on the old Tim Burton movie, which I haven't gotten the chance to watch yet, but I did buy it, so hopefully I'll get around to it soon. I know their set is absolutely amazing. They do this lifting sequence. They lift the girl Lydia at the end, and they don't use wires, and I haven't figured out how they're doing it yet. Also, the way they merge music and tech and the actors is just brilliant. I've seen some of the videos online, and it's fantastic, and I would love to watch Sophia Ann Caruso and Alex Brightman on stage. 14 is Bonnie and Clyde. Obviously, it had the iconic Laura Osnes and Jeremy Jordan on it, which is one of the reasons I got to watching it. Bonnie and Clyde is a very infamous criminal couple, I guess, but their story is so beautifully told. I'm so sad they didn't really last that long on Broadway, but if I could do it, I would bring back the original cast and watch it over and over again on Broadway. 15th is Come From Away. So the album of Come From Away, or like the hype, started around when I was taking my GCSEs, so I may or may not have been listening to it during my revising sessions and fell in love with the musical instead of studying for my physics exam. It's known as the 9/12 story, so we know what happened during the 9/11, and they're basically showing the story of what happened while that was happening in America in a little place called Gander in Canada. This musical is said to be kind of like the 9/12 story because it's not exactly about the 9/11 event, but it's about what's been going on outside of that area during the 9/11, during the 9/12 day. It's about the kindness that the people in Gander gave to the people who came on the planes, which were way more than they expected and should have had. But everyone just spent their time, and it goes through the different experiences, the different things these people had to go through, starting with the actual pilot, Beverly Bass, and it also goes through real life events where this foreigner met this other guy and they fell in love, and it's based on real life events. They have interviewed real people who were there at Gander, and I think that's so authentic and a beautiful way of retelling this 9/11 story. 16th is In the Heights. Because I put in Hamilton, I can't miss out In the Heights. It was Lin-Manuel Miranda's first musical, and it's about a real story about the people in Washington Heights, and it goes through genuinely these people's lives, about Usnavi, who has a store with his cousin, and Benny, who isn't Latino but he tries to fit in with the girl he loves, and their family, who is Latino and Latina. And it's about Nina, who went over to college college but dropped out. It really contains real stories and you end up really relating to what they're saying, and obviously the music is fantastic. 17 is Legally Blonde. I have watched the MTV version, I think. It had Laura Bell Bundy and Christian Borle, and they're all amazing actors. It's based on the iconic 2000s movie Legally Blonde about Elle, who follows her then ex-boyfriend Warner to Harvard to find love, but stuff happens and she goes to law school. Some of its most iconic songs in my opinion is So Much Better and Gay or European, which every theater kid knows even if you don't actually know Legally Blonde. 18 is Moulin Rouge. I actually watched the movie over and over from the first day I watched it, and I think it's beautiful and amazing, and Nicole Kidman is gorgeous. It hasn't been long since it's been open on Broadway, but I have been dying to watch it on stage, and I'm really sad I'm not in New York right now at this moment, but I would love to watch that original cast with Karen Olivo and Aaron Tveit, obviously. And I know the staging is beautiful with the heart-shaped sparkly lights, and I have no idea if they have the actual elephant, but if they do, that'll be amazing. 19 is Next to Normal. It's one of those musicals from the early 2000s. Like, it's been a while since it's been here, but it's definitely really iconic, and it had an iconic cast like Alice Ripley, Aaron Tveit, I'm trying not to get this wrong, Jennifer Damiano, J. Robert Spencer, Adam Chandler Barat, and Lewis Hobson. Hoping I said all those names right. But yeah, it has an amazing cast, and it has a great story that tries to tell mental illness through a way that wasn't done before, and it has a pretty small cast, but they tell the story of this family who's going through quite a lot of things. It goes through the individual problems, the problems they go through as a family, as a boyfriend, a husband, a wife, and a friend or a brother or a sister. Just real life, down-to-earth material, and I think that's absolutely beautiful, and I would love to see it. 20 is Newsies. Newsies, I watched the movie, I've listened to the soundtrack. I know the movie and the soundtrack is a bit different, but they both have an amazing male cast who are amazing at dancing and singing, carrying the banner, King of New York, their iconic songs. I don't really know the Broadway version that well, and I know there's a recorded version somewhere out there, but where I am, it's not available on Netflix, and I would love to see it with Jeremy Jordan, but I can't. So for now, I'll be wishing that this musical is on my 41 list of musicals to see if they were all in theaters. Because this video went on for longer than I expected, I'm going to make a part 2 with number 21 to 41, and it's going to go up next week. So I'll see you all then. Bye!